Zion Williamson is one of the most interesting prospects I've ever seen. I usually never do videos on college players and high school prospects because I don't want to be judging them too early, and also I don't want to be placing like high-ass expectations on them. But Zion is just so unique to have this much explosion and this much athleticism in this package. But before we go forward with the video, I want to thank the sponsors of this video, Simply Steez. My man Me Too actually reached out to me about growing his brand that he started, and again, like I said, it's called Simply Steez. He's been a fan of the channel for a long minute now, and he was inspired by how I grew it. So in turn, I want to help him get some exposure on his brand. And you know, the clothes are actually I think they look good. The shirt I'm wearing right now is actually from the website Simply Steez. The link will be in the description. Also, we got this shirt right here. They got it in white. Jesus Christ. Okay, where is it? They got it in white, and they also have it in gray. They also got some shorts on the website, perfect for this, you know, summer to fall transition. And speaking of fall, it means school is about to start, so for anyone who's looking for a backpack, they also got a backpack. And I was actually gonna buy one for college because I'm going to college in like 2 weeks. And you know, this bag has everything I need. It got a laptop sleeve right here, a lot of compartments, it got 2 bottle holders, and you know, I think it looks really good on me. You know what I'm saying? Little McDonald's red and yellow, you know, color combination. I like it. So if you want to support my man Me Too, his merch and his brand, go ahead, check the link in the description, and you can actually use the code BSOULS15 for 15% off your first purchase. Zion Williamson is a 6'7" forward from Duke and weighs 285 pounds, and while I couldn't find his official vertical, I would expect him to probably have a 40+ inch vertical. So let me just explain what I just said. A 6'7" forward with the physique of an NFL linebacker that can jump out of the gym. That is Zion Williamson, and he is projected to be a top 5 pick in next year's NBA draft. Now again, I usually don't make videos on college players on this channel for a multitude of reasons. One, I really don't watch that much college basketball. I just can't with the, you know, so many new faces coming in every single year. And there's really like no continuity in college basketball aside from the coaches. And two, again, I just don't want to be hyping up these players too much and, you know, putting high-ass expectations on them. So there's that. But the reason I'm talking about Zion right now is not simply because of the hype he's getting, not just that he's one of the most interesting prospects I've ever seen, but because I think he can be an example of something that I've been trying to emphasize on this channel, which is how the game has changed ever since its inception, and how scaling of NBA skills goes when talking about how players would do in certain eras. Now I'll go more in depth into this in the video I'm doing next week with my boy
is the NBA storyteller.
Yeah, that's happening. But just look at Zion's physique and playing ability. It's really similar to seeing what would happen if a guy like, let's say, Charles Barkley would play in today's NBA. Now, I'm not talking about just plopping a 26-year-old prime Charles Barkley on an NBA court today. But what I'm saying is, what if Charles Barkley was born in 2000? Grew up with the same tenacity and same physical gifts, but had the advantage of all the advanced nutritional knowledge, all the advanced training regimens, the years and years of film that he could study, and all the information he would need to be successful in the modern NBA. Now mind you, Charles Barkley going into the league was listed similarly to Zion at 6'6", 282 pounds going into the league. Wouldn't Charles Barkley, if he had the same advantages that Zion has right now, cater his game so that he wasn't just a rebounding machine and a skilled big that could work in the low post, but a guy that was a legitimate perimeter threat and could run the floor with elite point guards like Ben Simmons and Russell Westbrook? Am I saying that Zion Williamson is the next Charles Barkley? Like I said, I don't want to set those expectations on him, especially after only 2 preseason games. But what I'm saying is, if Charles Barkley did play in today's NBA, I think it would be similar to Zion in how Zion is going to develop his game. The biggest question about Zion going into college, and what will be the biggest question going into the draft, is his shot, and how well it will translate into a 3-point heavy NBA league. And based on the 2 preseason games that we've watched, now mind you, again, it is preseason against bad teams, so don't bank on it too much, if at all. it seems that his shot is better than what people expected, just in general. Now, he ain't hitting you with a Hezzo pull-up KD 3, but if he could move off the ball well, he could hit you with a light catch-and-shoot 3 in rhythm from what I'm seeing. Now, his rebounding capabilities may be the most underrated part of Zion's game, because this man can jump, and not just for dunks. He has the drive and the motor to go after boards that I really haven't seen from a prospect in recent memory. The closest person that was getting similar comparisons was Julius Randle in 2014, and now people were really high on him because of his motor. But I think Zion could be what people really expected out of Randle in terms of rebounding. And Randle is already a good rebounder. And speaking of Randle, when I was thinking about Zion and how he would translate to the league, I really did have trouble thinking of a modern NBA comparison, because he's in this middle ground of not being skilled enough to be a scoring small forward like a Paul George or a Jimmy Butler or Kawhi Leonard, but he's really not big enough height-wise to be a power forward like a LaMarcus Aldridge or an Anthony Davis. What I see him being is kind of what Draymond is in terms of how teams will position him, but the way he plays will be similar to what Blake Griffin would be if he was more of a perimeter-oriented player that could take you off the dribble. Because I watched Lowe's video on Blake Griffin, and he along with MDJ talked about how Blake is stuck in this middle ground of not being skilled enough to be a small forward that plays like a guard, but doesn't have the play style to be a center like a DeMarcus Cousins or a Joel Embiid or a Rudy Gobert.
So you have one camp that started splitting more and more towards the small forward place, and one camp that split more and more towards the center place. So the people who split off into the small forward place are people who started playing more and more like guards. And then you have guys, power forwards, who started shifting more and more towards the center position, although their game actually didn't change that much. And then I think you have guys, someone like Blake Griffin, who is at this vacuum, and he doesn't really know which way to go. So he's kind of stuck in no man's land, in a sense. He's in a room that everyone has already left.
And I honestly couldn't say it better myself.
And what I envision Zion to be is what Blake Griffin would be if he swayed towards the left a little bit more. An uber athletic wing that can attack you off the dribble in the perimeter, give you a spot up 3 from time to time, and on the defensive end, switch on every single play, defend multiple positions, and play amazing help defense because of his athleticism. However, for this to work, he definitely still needs to improve his perimeter skills. These one dribble blow by, double clutch layups simply won't cut it in the NBA every single time. He's going to need to work on his ball handling, and if he could develop some type of mid-range game, that would be deadly. But if he can't, he could just beat Julius Randle. A good player, don't get me wrong, but for the hype that Zion is getting, and the hype that Zion will be getting after videos upon videos upon videos of OSN reactions this season.
He got UCLA sticker in his room, but he never gonna be as good as me.
That's kind of an underwhelming statement, but I do hope the best for Zion Williamson. I really like the dude. Now, as of writing this script, we are less than 100 subscribers away from the grand 100,000 subscriber mark. And because I do think we're gonna pass it in the next 2 days before the next video goes up, I just want to thank y'all for all the support and all the, criticism, because the hate comments do make me want to do better on every single video. Shout out to guys like SDC, Low, Dom2K, Jimmer Range, MJ2K all day, the HTP crew, KB, King, the Discord dudes. Shout out to those as well. Shout out to everyone that helped me get to 100K, because this is definitely more than what I envisioned this channel being. Definitely more than that. Also, shout out to Dom. I forgot about Dom Church. Shout out to Dom. These guys have been guys that I've been bouncing ideas off of. I've also been learning a lot of stuff from them, throughout like the past 2 to 3 years. And they're just good people in general, so shout out to them. And I also haven't shouted it out in a minute, but I am doing a 100K subscriber giveaway. I'm giving away a copy of NBA 2K19 just a couple days after its release. All you have to do is look in the description and click the link for a 100K giveaway, and all the instructions will be there. But with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. And instead of saying I am out, thank y'all, man. Thank y'all.